I'm Stuart McIntosh with the BBC News. Hello. Ethiopia's Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has pledged to bury what he described as the enemy with the blood and bones of his forces. He was speaking at an event marking the first anniversary of the war in Tigray. Facebook has removed a post from Mr Abiy calling on civilians to take up arms against the Tigrayans. The Tigray People's Liberation Front says it's taken control of another key town. Kemisa Fisaha Agendom is a spokesman for the TPLF.
A genocide has been committed against our people. We are under siege. People are dying every day. Abiy Ahmed has refused to open humanitarian corridor to Tigray. So as far as we're concerned, until the international community will be able to deliver food, medicine, telecommunications, these forces will continue to fight and, if need be, march to Addis.
The United States has blacklisted NSO, the Israeli company that produces the controversial Pegasus spyware allegedly used by governments to hack into the phones of political rivals, activists and journalists. Here's Tom Bateman.
The US says the move is part of efforts to promote human rights and to stem the spread of digital tools used for repression. Its Commerce Department has put NSO on its so-called entity list, a blacklist which restricts American firms selling it products or information. NSO's Pegasus spyware is widely believed to have been sold to authoritarian regimes who have used it to track phones of political activists, journalists or opposition groups. NSO says it's dismayed by the US move and will advocate to reverse it.
Talks aimed at reviving the landmark 2015 nuclear deal between Iran and 6 other nations are to resume this month. Iran's chief negotiator said his government had agreed to a conference in the Austrian capital Vienna on the 29th of November. The deal was hit hard when the former US President Donald Trump abandoned it in 2018. But the Biden administration says it could consider rejoining. The United States will send a representative, along with the remaining signatories, China, France, Britain, Germany and Russia. This year's Booker Prize for the best novel published in English has been awarded to The Promise by the South African author Damon Galgut. It explores recent South African history through the wish of a white woman to leave her house to her black maid. The chair of the judges, Maya Jasnoff, explained how they chose the winner.
We arrived at a decision after a lot of discussion and arrived at a consensus around a book that is a real master of form and pushes the form in new ways, that has an incredible originality and fluidity of voice, and a book that's really dense with historical and metaphorical significance.
You're listening to the World News from the BBC. There's still no result in the race for governor of the US state of New Jersey, where the count is too close to call. The Democratic incumbent, Phil Murphy, has edged ahead of his Republican challenger, Jack Ciattarelli, by a tiny percentage. MPs in Britain have narrowly voted to overhaul Parliament's disciplinary process, preventing the suspension of a former government minister, Owen Paterson. In an unprecedented move, the Conservative Party ordered its MPs not to back the call for a 6-week ban. Nick Eardley reports.
Owen Paterson faced a series of significant accusations that he used his position as an MP to lobby on behalf of companies that he worked for as a consultant. Mr Paterson also, the Commissioner concluded, used his parliamentary office for meetings related to his outside interests, a breach of the MP's code of conduct. But Mr Paterson vigorously contested the findings. The MP said the accusations he faced had contributed to his wife's decision to take her own life last year, and he argued the process had been flawed. The government agreed, and this afternoon backed a motion which created a new committee to look at reforming the standards procedure.
The authorities in Colombia say 2 soldiers and 1 civilian were killed in an ambush on a military patrol in the northeast of the country. The army accused dissident members of the FARC rebel group of carrying out the attack. Scientists believe they've found out why people are growing taller and reaching puberty earlier than before. The research says there's a sensor in the brain located in the hypothalamus that provides the crucial link between food, sexual development and adolescent growth. When the sensor doesn't work normally, the study found that people tended to be shorter in height and started puberty later than other people, even if they had the same diet. The researchers say their discovery could lead to drugs being developed to improve muscle mass and treat delayed growth. BBC News.